Yo, what's up? Another trading recap for today. Today was a slow day. Nothing was really moving. Um, this morning I traded GLSI. I thought this thing was gonna rip. Thought this thing was gonna squeeze like that other stock. What was it? C. Fuck, I forget. But it went from like $12 to like 110. I thought this was gonna squeeze like that as well, over $100. I wanted to buy a pre-market, but I think it was just too risky to buy pre-market because this easily could have just dipped fucking hard and halted down. So I waited till the open. It squeezed up without me, and I was able to buy one of these dips when it pulled back. Made a couple bucks on this candle, this first candle. Then I bought the dip, made a couple bucks, and then it faded, and I didn't trade it. What else did I trade? So I'm up $11 right here. NAKD, I scalped this a little bit, only made $3 on it. But I was gonna buy here, but I don't like trading these penny stocks. And I ripped up, and then after it started fading, I started scalping it on the way down on these little dips. Made about $3, and that was that. I don't really like trading penny stocks. I was able to get out of that with a small profit. Oh my god. Okay, hold up. Let me turn this down. Alright, and we're coming back. And okay. Some guy's fucking weed whacking out there. I don't want you guys to hear that. So, yeah, NAKD, $3, TENX. There was just so much. I was flipping through so many stocks right out of the open that I couldn't really trade anything because I couldn't find any opportunity. I was flipping through all these different stocks at 9:30, 9:31, and it was tough finding setups today. So GLSI made $4.50, NAKD made $3, 10x. Let's check out 10x. I think I was scalping up in here. Scalping, pretty much just scalping. Let's see if I can pull up some orders here where I traded 10x here. 40 shares at 934. So 934 right here. So I traded this candle here. I didn't capture this move here. But that was really it. I wasn't really confident pushing share size today just because of how slow the market is. And a small green day is just like today is fine with me. There's no reason to push or force any more trades just because nothing seems to be working right now. There's no sit-ups and there's no momentum, so there's no reason in holding a stock and going in heavy and trying to hit a home run or a huge fucking gain today. So, Gene, tried trading Gene because it's a former Momo stock, momentum stock, and this could be a double bottom setup with a retest of VWAP before flushing. That's a possibility, but I can't I don't want to bet. I don't want to put my money on the line for that right now, just because of how irrational the market is right now. I don't know if I can trust these support levels because I don't know if there's buyers there. I mean, it looks like there's buyers here because this candle dipped below, this candle's dipping, and it got bought up. It's tough to say though. AFMD, forget that. I wanted to trade this here. I thought this was gonna rip a little bit more, and I bought for the break of VWAP. Took a little bit profit, 3 cents, and then it flushed. So got out of that pretty much break even. And then NAKD, yeah, I was just scalping NAKD, and that's when you know like it gets done. If I start scalping NAKD, naked brands, it's over. I mean, NAKD is pretty liquid, so you're not having trouble filling. But there's such small movement in the stock price that it's really, you got to take a couple thousand shares to make a decent profit. At least for me. This one, I was looking forward to trading this one. I thought this was going to be the best stock of the day, but it's restricted on Thinkorswim. I have to call up the broker if I want to trade this, and I'm not going to do that because then I have less control over my trades. I'm getting all stuffy. This must be allergies or a cold or something. Hopefully not COVID. But yeah, I was gonna trade this, but I'm restricted. I can't even buy it. See, ready, watch. Let's buy 1 share. Let's try to buy 1 share here, and let's just buy the market. And look, we are restricted. We can't buy this. Otherwise, I would have been trading this. Probably could have made at least some money off of this. Now here we go. Look at that. Oh, that's gonna squeeze to 25. Motherfucker. Let's watch this. Boom, boom, boom. Oh my God. Oh. If I would have bought that share, man, that would have been up $2. Here we go, squeezing into a hole. Motherfucker. This thing's gonna open up. It says it's gonna open up at 24. It's gonna squeeze to 25. All this volume coming in. Wow. 200,000 shares in that candle. This thing's gonna squeeze. Sohu kind of looked good, but like the volume is so light that it's not worth it. So a very high likelihood of a false breakout if there's shorts lying up here. So I think I'm done for today. I mean, there's not much. Up $11. Yesterday I had a really good day. Actually ended up $67 on that trade while doing that recap. And so, I mean, this week was over $100. Over $100 this week. I don't know how much, but next week I plan to start with my $25,000 account with 4 times leverage on Thinkorswim. So I'll be trading with 100,000 shares. I won't have to worry about not having enough buying power like I did yesterday. I had stopped trading yesterday because I ran out of buying power. And I'll be able to short stocks. So that'll be good. When I'm going to start shorting, I think I'm going to go to light or like very small share size just so I can get used to it. Because I'm sure it's a different dynamic and a different mindset when you're shorting. So I'm going to start small with that because I don't want to risk my entire account getting halted up and getting margin calls. So, but most of the time I think I'm going to stick with going long just because that's what I've been learning and that's what I've been making me money. But I'm just going to be pushing my share size a lot more after I get to that $25,000 mark because I don't have to worry about not having enough buying power. So if I want to take 1,000 and say I want to take a $3,000 position, buy $3,000 worth of shares of a $7 stock, I can do that, and then once I sell, the money will be replenished on margin in my trade in my available funds for trading, and I'll be able to use that $7,000 or $3,000 again to trade. So I can take multiple big positions without worrying about not having enough buying power. Because what I'm on now is a cash account, so I can only trade I can only trade up to the amount of money I have in my account. So 19,000, I can only trade up to 19,000, but then I also have to wait for T+2, so it skips a day. I won't get to use that 19,000 then for 2 days, or for 1 day, and I'll use it the next day. So the money I use today to trade, I can't use it on Monday, and I have to use it I can use it on Tuesday. So that's why I have to split it in half. So I won't have to worry about that now when I'm in margin. So that will be a good thing. If any of you guys have an account under 25,000, make sure you use the cash account, because then you can place unlimited trades, and you aren't restricted by the 3 trade rule a week. And if you want to learn scalping, you can't scalp 3 times a week. It's just not gonna. You're not gonna learn anything. Like, you need to be. Scalping is repetition, 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 and then you get an intuitive, emotional, and logical. It's kind of mixed, actually, emotional and logical. I guess feeling of when to buy, when to sell, the momentum in the stock, and the buying pressure, reading the tape, the selling pressure, and it's very intuitive. So you just have to obtain that intuitive, like eye of trading, of scalping stocks. You need to have repetition and repetition, hundreds times a day, hundreds and hundreds of times a day. I always go into on demand on Thinkorswim, and I replay days from like a month ago, and I look at my stocks that I was trading for that day on my notebook, because I write all the stocks that I trade down, and then I pull one of those up on that day, and I retrade it. I don't remember. I kind of don't remember what happened in the stock, so it's kind of like a completely fresh experience of scalping these stocks. So make use of that. Let's look at CELC. CELC, yeah, this thing's going to dip and it's going to squeeze through 25. So yeah, make sure you got a cash account. Even if you have $1,000 or $500, use the cash account and get used to the process of trading, of scalping. You're not going to make a lot of money with $500 or $1,000. Maybe you'll be lucky if you make $10 a day scalping, but you'll get the repetition and the repetition of trading, even if it's just one share. That's what I did. I did that for 6 months. 6 months. Every day I would wake up and I'd scalp 8 hours a day. I was living with my parents at the time, so I didn't have to worry about money, and I didn't have to pay anything. So I just used whatever money I had and just repetition, repetition, repetition. After 4 o'clock, if there was nothing moving in the after hours, I would go on demand and Thinkorswim, and I would replay days from before with the stocks that I was trading that day, and I would just do repetition, repetition, repetition. And then and now, like, I see setups that I've traded a million times and I've scalped a million times. I know exactly that it's about to bounce off support, or if it's about to punch through resistance, just through reading off the tape and getting a feel of the market. And so you just got to get that repetition. So first, if you have a small account, just do that repetition, and then just keep depositing some money as you get more comfortable taking bigger size after you get a lot of repetition. And then after you have that repetition, the next challenge is going to be getting used to taking bigger and bigger share size, which is just as hard as getting that repetition in. It's both very frustrating, because when you start sizing up, like, it's almost like a mental block. Like, you're so used to taking 1 or 10 shares, like 10 or 20 shares, and then now you want to jump it up to 50, and now you're emotional now, and you're holding on to your losers, and you're selling your winners too soon, and it's just an emotional mental block that you have to punch through every time. So like if you want to jump now from 50 to 100, you got to jump through you got to punch through another mental block. And then if you want to do 100 to 200 and 200 to 500, it's another emotional block that you got to bust through. And that's just as hard as trying to get that repetition in. But yeah, the first thing, I mean, for what I did was getting that repetition in for months. Repetition, repetition, repetition. Look at your stats on TraderView, sign up for TraderView, import your trades from Thinkorswim every month. You get 100 trades you can import every month and get that repetition in. Look at your stats. Your win-loss, if you're scalping, your win-loss ratio should be higher. It should be a 3 to 2 minimum win-loss ratio with, well, this is my stats. I have 66% to like about a 33% win-loss ratio. So it's about, I win 3 trades for every 5 trades I place. And this is a bonus. If you can have your average winner to be bigger than your average loser. If you have your average winner and your average loser the same, you will still make money if your win-loss ratio is that your winners are if you have more winners than your losers on average. But the bigger you can increase that gap from your average winner to your average loser, your profit margin is going to be huge, especially if you have that 3 to 2 win-loss ratio. That's if you're scalping. I mean, other people like to do a position trading or day trading with a position and just holding it throughout the day or a couple hours. They will tend to have a less win-loss ratio, so they'll maybe have a 2 to 3, 2 winners for every 5 trades, 2 winners and 3 losers, because their winners now, some of their winners are going to go into losers because they're holding on to stocks longer and because that's just their strategy. But the winners, since they hold longer, they'll let their winners run even like hours long. And so their average winner is then going to be like 2 times their average loser or 3 times their average loser. But their win ratio is going to be like 30 or 40%, and their losers are going to be 60% of the time. So it's just what you're comfortable with. How I have adapted to the market to make money. I pretty much like the idea of just throwing yourself into the market with a small account, trading 1 share, and just figuring out how to make money. Just figure it out. Don't go on some guru. Don't go. You can read articles, but don't blindly follow some guy's strategy, because that's what works for them. That's how they adapted to making money in the market, like a survival strategy. And you have to find your own survival strategy, and the only way you can do that is by finding your own survival strategy, by throwing yourself in that survival situation, by getting yourself into that market and learning how to learn to make money in the market. That's it. And the only way to do that is to throw yourself in there, kind of just figure it out. You have to, it's sink or swim, or think or swim if you're using Thinkorswim. Either you're going to make money or you're not, and eventually you're going to start making money if you stick with it. I mean, if you put in 6 months to a year of just 1 share size, trying to learn how to make money with that, even if it's just a couple pennies, in the long run, it's just going to be such a valuable experience. It's such a good foundation for then now building your share size, and after feeling comfortable and confident with your decision-making abilities. That's the key. Like, you have to have so much repetition that you can trust yourself to make decisions on the fly, because you can't think about making a decision or thinking about if you should buy here or sell here, because the moment you start thinking, it just fucks up your whole mind, and like you can't even think anymore, and you can't make a decision, and then you get stuck in a trade, and you lose a huge amount of your week's profits or your month's profits. It's sort of like a flow. You have to trust yourself in that flow state, and the only way to do that is to have so much repetition that you're confident with just letting yourself go and letting yourself flow with the market and make decisions on the fly without thinking about it. And you can't do that following someone else's strategy, because then you're thinking, oh wait, this is the one candle to make a new high, and this is the support, and this has to be the trend line, and So it has to go up, right? Like logically. It's not, trading is not just all logical. It's very intuitive. So, and the only way is just by repetition, and the only way to trust your own decisions is by not following somebody else's decisions or somebody else's alerts or somebody else's strategy. You need to trust yourself and make your own decisions. And that's when you're going to make the most money, and that's when you're going to be the most fulfilled, because you're going to feel like you're almost like a magician, um, because on your own decision making, on your own mental, your own like base, you're going to be making money, and it's just like out of thin air. It's going to feel like it's out of thin air, and just on your own decisions to buy or sell. And it almost feels like magic. It does. It's a very good skill. Um, but yeah, don't fall into the trap of trying to follow a guru. Or, I mean, I tried Tim Sykes back in 2016 for like a couple months, and I learned the basics. I learned about trend lines and support in the level 2, and low float stocks, small cap stocks. It's good to learn the basics through them, but don't follow a strategy. I don't follow a strategy from anybody really. I just kind of learn to adapt on my own and make money. Um, so just, I mean, I can't say not to use a guru because I did, and that's what got me started with Tim Sykes. Uh, but I don't follow his strategies or any of his alerts. I'm not even in his chat room, nothing. I don't even have a membership anymore. This was in 2016 for a few months, and I was just starting getting into it. I blew up my account, but for a couple months, I watched his PowerPoints, and I learned a lot of basic stuff. But you can learn that on the internet, of course, or on YouTube videos for free. You don't need to buy somebody's course, but you want to learn obviously the basics: support, trend line, level 2, how to read the tape. Volume is big. You want to learn volume. You want to learn what stocks that you want to trade. You can trade large cap, penny stocks, small caps, mid caps, blue chips. Um, you can trade a certain sector. You can trade Forex. You can trade commodities. Um, you can trade futures. So you just kind of have to dig and find the information and where you would think that you would thrive. And I kind of always stuck with small caps just because I've never really dabbled actually in futures or commodities. Sometimes large caps, but the large caps are moved kind of too slow for me. So um, I'm very impatient, I guess you could say, since it's the reason why I scalp and the reason why I scalp small cap stocks. Small caps just move a lot faster, and I like to take my profit when I have it, and I like the big like gapping short squeezes that you can make a shit ton of money, but also it comes with the cost. There's a lot of risk, so that's why I scalp, so I can limit my downside risk of getting stuck in a halt down or any sort of bad news or an offering and being stuck in an offering. Um, but yeah, just learn what you want to trade. I mean, a lot of people make money in futures and forex. Forex is big for trading. Um, Small caps is very risky, but I think it's I think it's one of the tougher ones. I don't know. I can't really say because I haven't tried everything. Large caps, people say that the charts are cleaner and it's easier to trade, and there's easier to not get stuck in halts because it's just the market cap is so big and that it can handle a lot of trading volume. But then again, large caps limits the amount of profit potential because, well, I guess I can't say that because it depends on your share size. But I would think that with trading large caps, you need to have a lot of money in your account, because if you're trading Tesla and you're trading one share, let's look. I mean, if you have a small account, you only have 1,000 shares. You can only buy one or maybe two if you're lucky. If you have 1,200 or 1,300 bucks, then you can buy 2 shares. And let's look. The range has only been $6, so you can make only 12 bucks. 12 bucks on Tesla today. But let's say you want to trade a small cap. and say, well, today's not really a good day to do this, but to compare, just because it's very slow. But let's see, TENX. So to say a $2 stock, so you have 100, so 50 shares, 50. Yeah, let's say 50 shares, right? No, that's $100. So with $1,000, 500, you could take 500 shares. 500 shares with a range of, let's average of 40 cents. 40-cent range. So from the high and the low of the day, 4 times 40 cents, so that's 50, so that's $200. You can make potential of $200 trading this if you bought here and sold up here at 240, and that's in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to 7 minutes. $200 with only $1,000 $1,000 account. So there's a lot more opportunity in that. Even if you capture 10 cents, you would make $50, and that's easy to capture 10 cents on this. You just have to get that repetition and know where to buy and sell. So, and then also Tesla. Let's look Tesla. It would take a lot longer. I mean, I guess here in 7 minutes you can make your $12, but I think it moves a lot slower. I think it definitely, large caps move a lot slower. So, you just gotta do your research and figure out what you want to trade. People make money in large caps, small caps, Forex, futures, commodities. So, find what works for you, which is really kind of like a self-discovery process, getting into trading, learning what types of stocks you want to trade, how your kind of strategy. You want to be a position trader, a scalper. You want to be an investor, a long-term investor. If you don't even want to day trade, you can be a short bias, you can be a long bias, you can be both. Some people excel in the dips, buying dips. I excel on buying dips. I don't excel on buying breakouts. Breakouts have failed so many times for me that I've adapted to like take smaller size on breakouts, and they have to be very. There's only a certain time when I'm taking breakout trades. Most of the time I'm buying dips. I excel in buying the dips because I like to sell on the breakout. I sell half my position on the breakout. Well, I try to. Sometimes I sell too early, but yeah. Yeah, I excel in the dips, so maybe you excel in the dips. Maybe if you adapted to buy the dips and sell on the breakout. Maybe you adapted to only buy breakouts and you sell like after the breakout when there's momentum. So yeah, just discover what you like, and there's always plenty of ways to make money in the market, but you gotta figure it out for yourself. There's no shortcuts. And that's really the test. That's the hardest part. That's why only so many people succeed or are like profitable or consistent in the market, is because a lot of people don't have the energy to put in the effort to learn how to trade properly and on their own. It's very frustrating. Very, very frustrating. Probably the hardest thing I've ever done, and still the hardest thing I've ever been trying to learn how to trade. Still a long way from where I want to be, and it's still very frustrating, especially taking big share size, because every time I take bigger share size, I tend to hold on to my position longer, and it fucks me up. I get emotional, and so that's a huge struggle for me right now. But in the beginning, a huge struggle for me was just getting profitable, just getting green. If you even look at my P&L, my profit loss curve on TraderView, which I showed up many times, I've been sideways for months. And even before that, I've blown up 2 accounts, one account in 2016, one account in early 2020. And then in August of last year, the past August, that's when I started my 3rd account. And that's when I was trading that one share size, getting that repetition all the way till January. Then I punched in another $5,000 into my account. And then I was still going sideways from January. You can see from December. Now, when was it? I started not. Yeah, from December to February, I was going sideways. You could see in my trade review stats. And then in March, end of February, March, I started to pick up. And then I went sideways again for another month and a half until I started getting into my groove again. And I'm like a steady incline right now. And now I'm up probably 900 to $1,000 right now on 2-3 months, 2.5 months trading, which is I'm pretty impressed with myself. But it only happened because I learned on my own. I didn't follow any guru, and I've learned to adapt like a survival instinct to trade and to make money. So yeah, that's that. Very frustrating though, and so don't be discouraged if you are not profitable. Scale down until you're consistent. That's all I can say. Well, if you got any value out of this video, please, I would love if you could hit that like button. Comment down below what kind of stocks you like to trade and what's your strategy. Like, are you long buy? So you do like shorting? Do you like buying the dips? Do you like buying the breakouts? Let's start a little conversation in the comments. So comment down below. And then also, if you haven't subscribed yet, you can be my millionth subscriber if you subscribe right now. I'm at 999,999 subscribers. I just need one more subscriber, and that could be you. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, and you can potentially be my millionth subscriber, and maybe the millionth subscriber gets a special package in the mail. I don't know. So maybe you'll be my millionth subscriber, but you got to act fast. You got to hit that subscribe button. So that's that, and catch you guys on the next video. Peace. See you guys. Oh no, it's the weekend, so I guess I'll see you guys on Monday when I'm trading with my $25,000 account. Hopefully. See you then. Bye-bye. Peace.